Okay, the first question is misconceptions I had about the Constitution prior to this class. I didn't have too many misconceptions. I had unanswered questions, and I understand what the Constitution is about and what the framers were intending. I just struggle with the lack of respect in today's society for the Constitution. Things I don't understand about our system. I struggle with how the Supreme Court justices can amend the Constitution based on bias. And I know that they don't always base it on bias, but they're humans and they're still going to take their beliefs and their values and their morals when they decide on whether or not they're going to side with the defendant, the petitioner, or the plaintiff when they're deciding on a case. The framers intend the Constitution to guide our nation and to protect the people, but some of the revisions that seem to be happening here lately don't seem to benefit society as a whole. And I feel that the Supreme Court justices need to be replaced more often. I think that they are working together for so long that they have maybe a groupthink mentality, or that there's just too much political influence, or that their personal biases get in the way. So I think that there needs to be a little more fresh perspective instead of them being able to serve basically their lifetime. Things I wish the founders had included, if any. I wish they would have included that the Supreme Court justices would be term limited, or at the very least that the American public would have an opportunity to have a voice in who is recommended for confirmation, whether that be in voting or them having their say as to who they believe should be confirmed, them giving all the information and the nominees' background, their history, their educational background, their personal background. I think that we as a society should have some sort of say in it because they're there to protect us. We should be able to help choose the person that is nominated to be confirmed. I'm not saying that we confirm them, but to choose the person to be nominated to be confirmed. My view of the appropriate method to be applied by the courts in interpreting the Constitution. I believe that referring to the Constitution and whether a case is in violation of amendment should always be the first step for the Supreme Court justices. And then I feel they should look at precedent. The case that they are presently looking at, was there a case prior that set precedent? And if so, then they need to follow that same precedent. If not, then is this case worthy, or should it be one that sets precedent for future cases? That's just my viewpoint on the Supreme Court justices, on how they should interpret a case when it's brought up before them. Other things that I'd like to address in this class, or the materials for this class. I'm looking forward to cases in which workers' rights were violated and how the justices applied the Constitution to them. I also am hoping that we touch on the process of how an amendment is revised, how they go about changing an amendment. What are the steps? How many Supreme Court justices have to agree to it? Who's the one that brings it in front of them? I know a little bit about the process, but not a lot. But with all the talk going on about presidential candidates wanting to change certain amendments, I'd like to have a little bit better understanding of how that would even be possible for them to go about doing that and what the steps are in beginning that process. And I look forward to enjoying the rest of this class and learning as much as possible and being very participative in all the discussions. Thank you.